Capricorn, and welcome to Celtic Guide Tarot, and this is your weekly tarot scope from September the 4th to September 11th. And you've got a mixed bag here, Capricorn, and there's a sense it's a continuous from your September reading, a sort of sense of where do I belong in looking for your place in the world. That's the foundation of your card and reading, so that's what's going on within your roots. The crowning card is a 9 of Cups, the wish fulfilling card, and your additional guidance card is message in a bottle. And this additional guidance card speaks to me about receiving support, receiving divine guidance, and receiving divine blessings, which is very aligned with the 9 of Cups. Although, as I said, you've got a mixed bag, Capricorn, in your journey forward at the moment. So yes, you start the week with the Page of Pentacles paired with the 3 of Swords, and this speaks to me about receiving a message regarding issues to do with work, finances, housing, but this message might be something that pierces you to the core, really. So it might not be a message that you want to hear. It might not be a message which is leading you in a direction you want to be going in, Capricorn. That's for some. Again, for others it might be completely different. This message might be about making your way forward, but when we get new beginnings, we always have to let go of something. There's always new beginnings, always come with endings. So there's going to be loads of different situations for Capricorns, but actually that makes a lot more sense now, as the ones who are receiving good news is it comes with a loss, just because that's the way life is. That's, you know, for every new beginning there's a loss, and for every loss there's a new beginning. So yes, keep your eye open, Capricorn, to whatever news you're receiving this week, and just pay attention to how it makes you feel. We move on to the Hierophant paired with the Emperor, and my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen these two cards paired together. And we've got the laws of the land, as in government, etc., paired with the Hierophant can represent sort of spiritual laws, so it can be priests or teachers, anything, but it's a sort of sense or a bit of a, I'm going to say exactly how I'm feeling, that represents meeting a roadblock. And that roadblock could be spiritual, or it could be more about the Emperor, which is more about the structures of society. So it could come around from a boss, anyone who's in charge of you. But the two of them together are speaking of a very rigid structure, Capricorn, that you're going to be meeting. That's the feeling I'm getting with these two cards. Again, could play out differently for all different Capricorns. You know, some could be receiving news they want and having to go forward and deal with more official things like governments and housing and everything that goes with that. But for some reason, these two cards together speak to me of a very big roadblock in your way. But it doesn't pair too much with the 9 of Cups and the message in a bottle. So it's going to pair out. It's going to play out for all your every Capricorn differently. And it's up to you to see out how these cards make sense to you. Actually, the Hierophant can also represent prayer. So some Capricorns who are drawn to that sort of thing could be reaching out for spiritual guidance, for prayer, for help. with trying to move forward and to trying to deal with whatever you're having to deal with. There's just so many ways, and this sort of prayer could connect with this Nine of Cups, this wish fulfilling tree, this sort of sense of you're having to reach out, Capricorn, for higher guidance. A message in a bottle does represent receiving higher guidance. So for some Capricorns, you know, you could be seeking spiritual solace, basically, somewhere. Because that Emperor can be very closed off and very walled off. So you could be seeking support somewhere, Capricorn. Okay, so we move on to the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands speaks to me about you sticking up for yourself, putting down your values, putting down your boundaries, sort of declaring what you'll put up with and what you won't. And that's paired with the Lover's card. And so for some Capricorns, this could be about a relationship and you finding your way within that relationship, which means, you know, you declaring who you are, what your values are, what you're about, what you'll put up with and what you won't put up with, actually, which again can be very linked to the Hierophant, seeking that inner spiritual guidance, that value system which guides your behaviour. So for quite a lot of Capricorns, this could be a relationship, or it could be about making choices. It can be making choices about something that you're very drawn towards in life, because the Lovers represents a magnetic attraction, and it could be to another person, or it could be towards a job, a course, a place you want to live, because the foundation is a Two of Wands. So that sense of you, Capricorn, being magnetically drawn to a situation and or person, it's going to be different for everyone else, and maybe having to battle a little bit to declare your, you know, to speak up for yourself, to declare your values, to declare what you want, and to assert yourself, basically, Capricorn. This is a sense, this means to me that you're having to assert yourself, to say, no, this is what I want, this is what's going to happen. The Nine of Cups, reaching out for that belief, Capricorn, that you deserve to have your own desires fulfilled. That's backed up with a message in a bottle as well. That sense of, now this is divinely inspired. This is who I am. This is who I want. And you sticking up for yourself to get what you want. That Lover's card has a Knight of Wands staring directly at it. So for some Capricorns, this could be a fire sign, male or female, gender's totally irrelevant here. Who you're involved with, actually. He's looking straight at the Lovers. So yeah, there's definitely a fire sign person here. And right next to your Seven of Wands, you've got the Seven of Swords. Now, a lot of readers see this as the theft card, the trickery card, and maybe, Capricorn, only you know that. How I perceive this card to be is, I perceive this card as bringing awareness to that which is stealing my sense of peace and well-being. That's how I perceive this card. For some unfortunate people, they could be involved with someone who is treacherous and deceptive, maybe. And if you are Capricorn, get out quickly. But for those who aren't, this could be a sense of how you are being robbed from your own peace and your own well-being. And that can happen in so many ways. That sense of, I'm not good enough, I'm not this enough. It could be too much spending too much time in your head and not in your love nature, not in that sensory world, or the dynamic, you know, fires are always very, very dynamic. There could be a sense for some of you It's getting out of your head and coming back to your senses and coming back to your heart energy and your spiritual energy, because the Knight of Wands is also very spiritual energy. So Capricorn, nothing's ever resolved by overthinking about it. It's absolutely a trick, and that's how I see this card, as a trickery card. But what the trick is, believing that you're going to think your way out of a situation. You don't need to do that this time. The Nine of Cups is about emotional well-being. It's about enjoying sensory pleasures and sensory happiness. It's, you know, in all this fire energy, it's been rooted in your own life force and your spirit. And it seems to me what's robbing you is that over-analytical mind. And being a Capricorn, that tends to be that sense of I am not this enough, I am not that enough, I'm not good enough. And it never, ever, ever ends. And it's debilitating, Capricorn. And my feeling is this is what has to be let go of. And I tell you, for any of you Capricorns who are spiritually inclined and who the Hierophant represents there, any good spiritual teacher or priest should spot that and let you know that we cannot solve our problems on the level of our minds. It just doesn't work. So very interesting. I'm going to try and summarise a bit. I'm really confused, Capricorn. I've had to do I wasn't getting anything from the last reading. I've been like this all day, actually. But I wanted to try and get the readings out. There's some news here at the beginning of the week. For some Capricorns, this is going to involve heartbreak and loss. For others, yeah, either loss because the way forward is becoming really uncertain, and for others, you have to let go of something to move on to your new beginning. As a sense for many, this is a very big roadblock to me. But for others, it's not. It's dealing with the laws of the land. I mean, it all depends on your individual circumstances. But it's a very official couple of days, actually. And it all seems to be to move you forward and towards the life you want to create for yourself. Now, I think this life you want to receive it's driven by an intense passion you feel. And for some of you, it seems to be a very, very divinely inspired new beginning. Crowned with the Nine of Cups here. And there's a sense of you having to stand up for yourself, to declare your intent, to stand by your values. Because what you're drawing, what you're following, you're magnetically drawn towards. So this is a person or just a whole new way of life. And for some Capricorns, this is going to mean different things. How I'm feeling right at this moment, Capricorn, is coming to terms with that state of mind that tells you consistently that you're not good enough. You're not thin enough, you're not this enough. That is the ultimate trickery card, basically. And some of you, you've got a fire sign here, riding right out, very happily, galloping along to meet his lover or his other half here. And Capricorn, come to terms with how our thoughts, particularly Capricorn, rob you of your sense of well-being. Seems to be a really big spiritual lesson for you this week. And I'm sorry if this didn't make sense very much. This is a theme for most people's cards. So it either means it's me, or it means that we're in a transitionary week. I don't know. But contact me directly, Capricorn, if you need to. My information's in the About section. And good luck.